Good evening to you all. It's Brian, Dr. Brian, and it's Wednesday. I believe it's the 7th of August. 7th of August. Good Lord, I don't know where the year's going. It's going at a terrific pace. And so the 5th, 2 days ago, was the first day of my second One Funnel Away challenge. And so it's a 30-day challenge with a week tacked onto the front, which is the Build Belief week. So it's a 30-day crash course in personal development where you reveal to yourself your weaknesses and something to work on for the future. So yesterday was on failure. And that's quite interesting. So, Russell Brunson's very inspiring. He's just had some really crushing setbacks in his business career, and he's found a way every time to be bigger than the problem and actually find a solution, and that's really inspiring. And he's such a character. If I do that, I look a bit less like a shadow. He's such a character that he's inspiring enough that people are prepared to work with him on his big idea and his vision, and that is a huge credit. So to him, and one of the great abilities is an ability to communicate your big idea, your dream, your goal. And so I look at myself and look back at my calamities in life, and there have been a number, and of personal and professional. I think everyone needs to have been sacked a few times, and yes, that was me. I've done that. I got two that I'm quite keenly aware of. Was there any else? I came pretty close once. I think I beat him to the punch before he said, "You would be better if you weren't here." Oh, and I got sort of sacked from law school. That was pretty impressive. So I got sacked from production manager from a male marketing company, not men, but actually direct response male marketing. They actually joined together they used the lists and created the sales letters, and I was the production manager to ensure that it all went to course, and picked up all the envelopes being stuffed by outworkers, and they were bundled in postcodes, and then I took them to the post office and we got permit postage, so a stamp, not a stamp, but through a machine that put a franking stamp on it, and that was quite interesting. And often the hold-up was actually the bosses. They actually didn't write their content, and I was a bit too shy to go and yank their chain and say, "Pull your finger out, you're holding the process up." So when things ran late and they were the problem, I got the sack. So it was a good lesson. You're hired to do something, so you oh God, the ship's moving. So it's quite important that you actually stick to the job. I've discovered I'm not good at delegating. I'm getting better, and I was banquet manager in a hotel last century, and I feel really bad about asking the staff to do stuff. So I'd be running around like a mad thing, trying to do all the jobs, and they'd be sitting at the back drinking coffee. It's pretty hilarious in retrospect. And obviously, then there was sort of a bit of an under-delivery at times, but somehow it all came together. Anyway, basically the management team were a bit unhappy about paying for staff who were doing nothing. So long and short of that, they said, "Well, how about if you just drop back from manager to supervisor, waiter, and pick up a skill base, and we'll look at you again." Anyway, I learned that job. But in this last, most recent One Funnel Away challenge, I really sort of ran into myself because I have all this content in my head, and I also have it dotted around on various servers, and I could identify what I wanted to put into the sales offers, but it's the problem was it was in my head, and I had to sort of take it out of my head and turn it into a thing. And so I felt that I couldn't actually offer it to someone to do because I didn't want to tell them to write, because it was all locked inside my little head. Anyway, so I'm doing it again with the express purpose of refining this process so that the goal is to actually run a number of enterprises and do it successfully. And it's not possible to do on your own. You can barely do one properly, let alone three. And what the net result of feeling wildly overworked and stretched and not enough time is that, and that perfect way of manifesting your own reality or your desire, the book at work becomes quite thready because I'm actually feeling like I need time to catch up and get everything done. So it is given by people not making appointments or actually cancelling. And I've done that a lot over the years. When I was a massage therapist going through uni, and I'd be thinking, oh Lord, I've got an assignment to do and I haven't done it yet. And magically 3 people in a row would ring up and cancel, and I think, oh well, I've got time to do that now. But now I've got no money. So be very careful what you think you might want, because quite often it turns up, and usually in a slightly abstract way. It's not always the exact way you thought it was going to arrive. So there's been obstacles in my life, and the last few 18 months have been or 2 years have been quite squeezy around team building and revenue generating and all those things that actually are necessary for a successful business. So I've made certain changes to facilitate a fresh start. Now I have to really sort of knuckle in and get it happening. So I'm on my own challenge, so watch the space as I bring it all together. It'll be very exciting, because the goal is to serve many, not hide my light under a bushel. I have a lot to offer, and I'm good at what I do. So the more I can actually communicate that to many people and let many people help many people be their very best and actually understand more about themselves, that is my gift, that's my role, that's what I'm here for. And the goal is to create a foundation that actually recalibrates what health is and how people see it and how they then access health. It's a sort of a one-way discussion at the moment, and the current paradigm of Western medicine is very powerful and it's very effective for a number of areas, but it's actually bloody useless for creating genuine health. It creates the appearance of health through various medical interventions quite often, and it's not actually health. It's actually, if you like, it's an illusion of health and well-being. There's certainly a magnificent aspects to managing acute sickness and infection, and it's a magnificent work. But as we look at the body and its complexity and its relationship, it's really evident that quite often the illnesses, especially the chronic illnesses people are suffering from, are really related to their daily, hourly choices and lifestyle. And a lot of them don't know they're making the wrong choices or not an ideal choice, and others know there might be a better choice, but they find it too difficult to actually make that a daily, hourly choice choice. So then we want to help them feel easier to make shifts in the right direction. So that's a goal. And the more people understand the relationship and the more that the evidence is clear and unequivocal, the harder it is to turn away from it and say, that won't work. Anywho, I've done 10 minutes. Gordon Bennett. I've had some fun. It's handheld, and that's why it's wobbling around, and I'm going to say goodbye and go back to the computer and do some work, and wish you well for a lovely evening. I trust you have a great day tomorrow, which will be Thursday for me and Wednesday for some others. Anyway, ciao, bye.